Good morning. Welcome to the issue number 11. Our topic for the day is what stands in the way becomes the way. It's a quote by Marcus Aurelius, which was the last philosopher king, or considered the last philosopher king of the Roman Empire, who wrote many volumes and some incredibly deep and thought about life, about behavior, about who he was, and his interpretation of Stoicism. And this quote to me speaks to me. This what stands in the way becomes the way speaks to me because it is a challenge for me to see that those things that I'm challenged by in my life are the way to expansion. That's the way to go. We have this sense, right? This innate human sense that when things get difficult, to change our path, or when things get tough, or when we see something that's challenging, to go a different direction. But what's also true about us is that that's the safe way. That's the way that includes less expansion, less ability to become more than we are. And for me, what I've been thinking about lately, and especially since the new year, doing these videos every day, starting this company, Trial Alliance, what I've been thinking about is expansion. How do I expand my life? How do I become more of the person I am today? How do I become better? How do I get better? How do I get smarter? How do I improve my ability to communicate? How do I improve my ability to communicate my ideas to a set of people, to people who are with me on this journey of being a trial attorney? And so for me, that's a challenge. And quite frankly, it's a challenge that includes a little fear, right? Making these videos, talking to you every day, doing so in a manner that is authentic and real, but that conveys some message that's not just, hey, I ate some bubble gum yesterday and I had some Skittles. And I mean, I want to say something that's meaningful, right? That changes lives and affects, or at least starts a thought, right? A thought about life. And so the challenge for me is to see that this is in fact difficult. It's a challenge for me to do this, but to do it anyway. And to see that what stands in my way, the fear I have of doing this, and the fear I have of being ridiculed or laughed at or said that I'm not good at this, the fear that what stands in my way is the way. I've got to go right at that thing, In the military, you're taught that, and I'm not a combat guy. I mean, I'm not some infantry soldier by any stretch of the imagination, but part of the training that we're told in case we get ourselves into some horrible situation where I have to use my weapon is that if you're ambushed, you turn toward the ambush, right? You turn toward the fire and you charge the fire, because it's the only way to survive. You've been set up in a kill zone, and there's an ambush there, and you're walking into it, and when the fire starts, you're in a crossfire probably, right? You're in a fire from two separate positions, and you can't either take fire from this side, and when you take cover from these guys pick you off. And so the only possible way to survive that is to turn toward the fire, one of them, and charge, run, go with everything you have straight at it. It's the only shot you have is to take one of those positions away and to survive, right? It's counterintuitive to everything you think, because everything you think says, get down, get out of the way, right? But what stands in the way becomes the way. In that environment where death's on the line, where your life is moments from being lost, you have to go toward the danger. And so that seems to me to be the same sort of fury and fire that I can use to say what stands in my way becomes the way, because you're not going to get in my way, because whatever is there is going to move, and I'm going to make it move. Now, this is sort of contra to what I said yesterday about understanding those things we cannot change, right? Powerlessness. And it's fine, because I can understand powerlessness and understand those obstacles that I can overcome. That is my power of discernment, right? I have to use my power of discernment. I can't look at a 3-foot brick wall and say, well, if I just run into this thing hard enough, I'm going to get it down. That's foolishness, right? I have to have the judgment to know what I can overcome. But when I see that obstacle that I can indeed overcome, I must go straight at it. Because for me, that's where the magic happens. That's where I become a more expansive human being. So that what I considered to be the edge of my possible universe prior to that, when I push through that wall or I push through that obstacle and I go that way, that difficult way, then the whole thing gets bigger. My entire universe, my entire ability to understand and to produce grows, and I grow with it. My consciousness grows, my understanding grows, my ability to produce, my ability to be the person I am grows with it. And so if the purpose of my life is expansion, the purpose of my life is to serve people, and the way that I do that, the way that I go about that is expansion, through expansion and self-examination, then I must continue to take on those matters that are in the way. And so what stands in my way must become the way. And that's my message today. I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.